The coming to the last customer example that I wanted to break down a little bit more. This is a enterprise logistics customer that we were working with that faces around 25% of they're basically the middleman between a shipper, someone who wants to get a shipment out, and then the carriers who actually fulfill those shipments. The problem that they were really facing here is that they're on a year-on-year basis, they're facing close to 25% turnover, where the shippers that they had the previous year are no longer there the next. And well, some of this turnover could be attributed just to the fact that that shipper is no longer in business or no longer viable. A large percent of it, close to 18% of that turnover, has been attributed to just loss of contact, where the account manager who's responsible for that shipper just forgot to follow up or forgot to check in with them. And this solution is to prevent that from happening, and basically act as a little assistant towards that account manager. And the way we achieve the solution is basically interacting with the customer's underlying data warehouse that has all the operational data that contains the past loads against a shipper and the shipments that they're basically sending out. And we basically use a custom SageMaker ML model to develop a pattern-based recognition, like a pattern-based recognition off of that operational data, so that now every shipper that the customer is working with has its own pattern that's been identified by the solution, and once we identify a shipper that's breaking that pattern, that's breaking the trend of shipments that they're used to, the solution is automatically going into the Slack channel that is dedicated for that shipper and letting the account manager know, we should have been expecting a shipment from them, but we haven't received it. They've broken their pattern. The other core aspect of the solution, which is probably difficult to understand just through the diagram, is that not only are we using the operational data, we're also using HubSpot data that's there, as well as Slack data that's there, to then understand the cadence and the communication that the account manager is having with the shipper. We use this information as well to then help adjust and course correct the pattern that we found out through the ML model, along with the information and the communication that's been happening with the actual shipper itself. And then we send that little notification across accordingly. Through this implementation and taking it to production, it's resulted in 15% of customer retention for the customer.